Welcome back to more Kombat Armageddon, and we're finally finishing Conquest Mode. Yeah, we're almost done, actually. We're almost done, actually, yeah.
Well, this one's even shorter than Reception's Conquest Mode, if I recall correctly.
Wow, it really is shorter. We died at the end.
It's also more streamlined, Jova. Remember, we spent, with Deception, we spent all the time with Shujinko just walking around very big empty fields with nothing to do. And all the time just fighting the same opponent with the tutorialization. You know, that was artificially inflated. This one instead is much more streamlined and fun to play.
So is the devil just waiting right there for the right moment to throw those rocks at Taven?
Yes.
The Elder Gods are not pleased with you, Taven. Or maybe we're just bored.
So anyway, I've been doing some research on this game, and I've actually found out an interesting tidbit.
Go on.
So, yeah, apparently getting back every character for this game was, well, not something that a lot of people supported in this team. Like, let me put things into perspective. I learned today that apparently Sue Howe is what TV tropes are referred to as a creator's pest. As in, nobody on the team apparently liked him.
Not the fan nor the team.
In fact, there's this special quote from John Vogel himself. We were fully prepared to say, yes, Jack's killing him really happened. He's dead. He's gone. But Mortal Kombat Armageddon is about bringing every character back to life, so Sue Howe is back, much to my dismay. Okay, if I may, a comparison. Whereas something like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate really did feel like the passion in bringing back every character was there, this one feels like it was done with clenched teeth beyond the point of reason. Like,
also, sorry, go on.
I do get the semblance that, like, well, I wonder if bringing back every character was something of an executive mandate. Because, look, I get being creative, but if there are just some characters you just downright don't care for and feel like you have to do it with clenched teeth, it feels like there was a lot that went wrong with this game beyond just the Conquest Mode in that regard.
Also, Java, on your previous point in regards to Smash Ultimate, let me partially quote Waluigi from the Hallelujah. Who the hell asked for Pichu?
Well, that's the thing, though. At least with Pichu, they actually made him a better playable character in Ultimate, so they at least picked up the slack there. This game doesn't even have that.
You see, Pichu was meant to be a joke character in Melee, so that was the point.
The thing was like, well, thanks to the rage mechanic, he could now actually be useful.
In the meantime, okay, thanks, Elder Gods.
Nice.
So anyway, I've come to the conclusion that yes, I do like this Conquest Mode better than that of Deception. It is an improvement. However, it's an improvement in the sense that we went from crawling on the floor to walking on it. Which, I mean, yeah, we got from basically outright horrible to basic decency at best. Hey, Scorpion.
Prepare to face me in hell.
Of course, Scorpion has to be one of the final opponents.
And yeah,
man, I wonder who made this game.
Well, okay. So I think I should probably do a proper comparison. Deception felt like it was trying to be more of an actual story with how the characters actually were incorporated into stuff. Yes, it had problems, but at least it didn't feel like glorified cameos at best. This one, technically, and I do mean very technically, has a better narrative in the sense that the main character isn't as much an idiot as the old one was. The problem is that seems to come at the cost of characters actually, well, mattering in the long run of things. For something that's supposed to be a big celebration of them all, it feels like some they barely can't wait to get rid of.
it's more so because the fact that this entire thing was outside of the realm of possibility for them. Making a PS2 fighting game with all these characters, yeah, now like it's something when you're dealing with sprites, that's fine. But when you're dealing with a more complex game like the PS2 trilogy, no, it's just much harder to accomplish. As well as trying to manage all these characters in the story mode, it's just very. That's why you will never see a Mortal Kombat game ever again probably ever try this again because how would the story mode of said game even work? It just wouldn't work.
Oh, I know exactly how it can work.
Or it can very much easily work by them, giving each character a proper chapter.
But that's the thing. But that's the problem, Jova. If we have 100 characters in a single game,
one at a time, guys. One at a time.
Yeah, if we have 100 characters in a single game, we need to. And remember, the story mode in the Mortal Kombat has one chapter per character, meaning you would have to have 100 chapters, meaning the story mode would have to go on for like 30 hours.
Never mind.
More or more.
Sometimes the story is a cheat and have a character being centered around multiple chapters instead of just one.
I was gonna. Hey, you want to know how they can do this in the story?
Do what this game did and limit the roster of the story mode?
Go on, Dej.
They don't have to put everyone in.
Yeah, that's what Joe was saying.
I just said.
Just do like a poll or something.
Well done.
No, that's it. You don't have to shove in every character in the story mode. That's as cool as that would be. That doesn't work.
And look, there are some characters we really don't need.
Also,
Blaze.
Hey, Blaze. I'm
foreseen it. You are in the wrong location.
Really?
Yeah, remember, Blaze is the one who's gonna destroy everything and reboot this whole fucking thing. So
basically, Blaze is just here to tell us, "Oh, you're in the wrong area."
My dick's bigger than yours.
Alright.
No, more so that they're in the
Armageddon will be upon you all.
Yeah, that's title.
My business is with Daegon.
Yeah, Taven at this point doesn't give a shit. He just wants revenge on Daegon.
Stop! Sorry, you have no choice. The game needs to happen.
Then let's get this over with. I have waited an eternity for this moment. When this is over, I am going to finish you.
I know when we got teleported, but it generally looked like Blaze just killed them on the spot.
Yeah, basically.
How did we... Daegon. You used to be faster than me. Last time we raced through Father's Temple, I believe you won. Seems like only yesterday. It was yesterday. I suppose it was. For you. But I was awakened prematurely. Over the millennia, I've grown much faster, much stronger. This time,
better.
Victory is assured. The only thing that is assured is that you will pay for killing Mother and Father. So you know. Yes, I killed them. I had to. Lord Shinnok warned me that they had decided to assist.
And as we all know, Lord Shinnok would never lie to me.
Not to mention he's a man of his word.
Totally. Just ask his son, Shao Kahn.
Fight.
Also, Dej, you say that, but Tekken 7 did exactly what you said, and it had very poorly results.
No, but here's the thing: Tekken 7 was a poorly written story.
Well, maybe so, Dej, but the characters that he decided to employ actually for the story of the roster that he had were poor choices to begin with.
No, Heihachi Kazuya makes sense. Nia, she's been there since day one, understandable. Jin being asleep, no.
Yeah.
Lars.
I do wonder if that was
what? TL finish, please.
No, go on, Java.
Dad, you're not one to lecture me on that. Anyway, but when it comes to the whole Jin thing, I do wonder if that was the game's way of subtly hinting that they might be pushing Jin out of the protagonist role and giving it back to the original, especially given how apparently this is truly Heihachi's end with Tekken 7.
Could have handled better. But
yeah. Okay. Look,
also,
I would. Oh, sorry. Go on.
No. Go ahead.
I would argue that. Okay, I have not properly seen that story completely in full, so I can't completely judge. But
it's on my channel. You can see it there.
Oh, really? Your channel recorded that? How nice.
Yes.
Anyway, though, I'd argue that even if the execution wasn't the best, that doesn't mean that the methodology itself is flawed. It's just the idea to, well, do it good, obviously.
Also, that again, they have an entire sequence that goes for quite a while, set in actually the Arabian Emirates, and they don't even acknowledge or make show up the actual Arabian character they created for Tekken 7.
Yeah, again, no. He's actually there. He makes a brief cameo when Heihachi.
And there you go.
Oh,
We
hold on,
defeated
here we go.
Taven. Sorry, Daegon.
No,
Taven
Daegon.
is our main guy.
Yeah.
If you defeated Taven, that means you defeated yourself, and to
Mer-
only master yourself, you must defeat yourself.
Yeah.
Blaze expressing sympathy for what you just did is like the stupidest thing ever.
Destroyed my family.
Don't you see, Tio Blaze?
Yeah, explain to me why I should care, Blaze.
Creator foresaw the coming Armageddon. That
He looked like a Def Jam model. Oh, wearing a costume.
that make reality possible. Those warriors are in the crater below, engaged in mortal combat.
As we saw in the opening movie, yeah.
All of them?
Mm-hmm.
But with that many fighting in one place,
This crater will be the origin of the apocalypse unless something is done to prevent it.
Yes, there's way too many characters and too many plot lines, so we need to reboot this crap.
He decided to kill them all when the time
I still think they could have tried to fix it rather than reboot everything. And again, it didn't take long for that rebooted universe to also get screwed up, now did it?
In the end, they conceived of a contest between you and your brother. The victor would unleash one of two solutions. Like a coin toss, one side would disarm the warriors.
So, blah blah blah, go fight and see who wins.
which side of the coin am I?
It is unknown even to me. Your armor is the catalyst. The fate of the combatants will be revealed when our battle is done.
Okay.
So by defeating you, I could be killing them all.
They are unimportant. Whichever outcome, you will be saving the realms. But you must not let anyone else combat me.
Then allow me to win, and we'll put an end to this.
No, Taven. I must act according to my creator's design. Take your sword, walk through the archway, and finish the quest.
God, this is convoluted.
I mean, at least Blaze is surprisingly sportive instead of being a generic master strolling villain
What the-
like Konaga was.
Yeah, what this translates out to gameplay-wise is that finishing Conquest mode will give you a chance to go straight to the top of the arcade ladder and go straight to fight Blaze as Taven.
Oh, okay, so in a way, the arcade mode element is implemented into the story mode, making it feel like an actual story mode. That's actually neat.
Yep.
Whoop.
Huh. Okay, yeah, this Conquest mode is
There's the
definitely better
pyramid.
than that of 6. Because 6's Conquest mode was essentially just more glorified tutorial that was a prologue to the actual stuff.
There he is.
Now face me in mortal combat!
Immortal Kombat!
So if Elder Gods fight each other, is it called Immortal Combat?
Well, they can be killed, so no.
There you go, see, we automatically jump straight to Blaze.
That is.
Oh my god,
actually a
it's
nice
Dark
touch.
Khan from Mortal Kombat.
No, we're
Universe.
not there yet, Edge. No, that's the next game.
So
It
this-
looks just like him.
Probably
that
they
really-
used they based it on his design. Yes, Jova?
So that really does make this the canon one.
That's the thing, Jova. We now know, thanks to Mortal Kombat 9, that the one who wins this tournament is not Taven, it's Shao Kahn. So,
I guess you can. I guess you can argue. I guess the best at canon is what while Taven was just about to defeat Blaze, Shao Kahn swooped in and bashed his head with his hammer.
I'm sorry, but that's confusing though. So
Are you telling me that Mortal Kombat sucks at consistency and just makes stuff along as they go?
okay, Deads. Your obvious hot take jokes aside, I don't get why would they bother putting all this
Honestly?
into Taven only to undo it? Like
Because no one liked this game or the most. And okay, let me saying no one is up for.
Yeah.
The general reception towards this and the previous games weren't that good, and NetherRealm wanted a clean slate.
yeah, the thing.
Oh, I get no. I get that. What I mean is like, well, why change how the events occurred to get it to a reboot? Like, it's gonna reboot anyway, so just have it be consistent and then, boom, go from there with the reboot.
I don't even know.
That
being said,
plans for the story.
That being said, I don't know, Joe, but honestly, I don't even see that as a hot take. Like, I mean, for as much as I love Mortal Kombat, I think most Mortal Kombat fans will admit that, yeah, Mortal Kombat has never been the best with consistency. I mean, that's all. Even if you go
itself all the time,
it's not even just now or with the new series. Now, even if you go back to the original classic games, even the original classic games had plenty of inconsistencies. I mean,
I referred to it more as a hot take joke because it came off in his joking manner for that one.
Sure. But no. Inconsistency has always been a problem of this franchise, right from the very second one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, in the first game, Raiden's an asshole, but in the second game, he's rebooted. He's rebooted into a super nice. The only
and even later incarnations retcon Raiden's behavior in the very first tournament to be already wise and not an asshole anymore.
Have I missed anything?
Basically, Taven defeated Daegon, and as a result, we get to skip the arcade mode straight to Blaze and finish the arcade mode as Taven already.
Oh, so what's the point of playing the arcade mode then?
Well, because Mortal Kombat. That's the thing. Mortal Kombat 9 reveals that the canon winner of Mortal Kombat Armageddon is actually Shao Kahn. So
that means that doing the story mode is made utterly pointless.
Well, not really. You get to see Taven's ending, just like all the other characters. I mean, consider this a different method of getting Taven's ending, I guess.
Ice boulder with generic rage.
I've already seen this picture multiple times, but
hold on, Jova. I'm gonna have to interrupt you there. Hold on, Jova. Here's the problem. The endings of this game is just the character doing his moves while there's a narrator. While a narrator says what the end is. That's it. There's not even pictures.
Okay.
So it's like Shijinko's in the last game.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the problem. As like the end of an arcade mode, this is lame enough. But with this being the end of the, the hyped up story mode, it just feels goddamn silly.
This is one of those cases where you can clearly tell this game was rushed, and it really is. It was a case where the game was poorly planned.
Okay, I'm not saying this will improve. I'm not saying it's going to improve the game much. But how's the Wii version?
This is the Wii version, Whips.
It is.
Yep.
The best version.
I thought this was the PS2 version.
No, it's the Wii version that I'm playing. Well, that's the thing, Dubs. I mean, the Wii version is only slightly enhanced port of a higher resolution. The graphics haven't been altered at all.
Right. So basically, actually, did Midway manage to get far into making Wii games before they shut down?
I don't think so.
No, from what I recall.
No. I mean, the only game of theirs that I can think of is on the Wii is this one.
So like I said, though, I mean, by the way, did anyone else notice that in that windscreen, Taven kind of looked like General Zod from Man of Steel?
Yeah, kind of.
A bit less bulky, but
so basically, to recap, he's sad because he lost his family and he hates this quest.
His quest served nothing because the realms are still unstable.
So,
okay. So I was right. This whole story mode was pointless in that regard.
Pretty much. There you go. Wii development team.
Just Games.
Which is interesting. Okay, wasn't Just Games the ones who... yeah, it kind of reminds me of how the Switch port of Mortal Kombat 11 was also done by an outside studio. So, I guess that makes sense. Okay, so that was the Conquest mode. Of course, there's more to see, obviously. But before we get that, let's get our thoughts on the Conquest mode out of the way. Jova.
I honestly don't know how to feel about this. On the one hand, it was looking like it was definitely better than Deception Story mode. But...
Descending changed things for you right now, I'm guessing.
Well, that's the thing. The fact that you also revealed that not only is this story technically not even really canon, but in the long run of things, it absolutely does not even happen now, as per the canon, which is something that even Deception can say it didn't succumb to. I mean, look, if we're looking at them as full packages, this is still technically the better executed of the stories. That said, Deception... Deception was a more interesting story than this. Like, yes, this was technically a better story, but it's better in the sense that we went from, oh my god, this is fascinatingly terrible, to, yeah, this is boring. Characters just come and go on a whim to the point where we literally have to text their way out of scenes.
Yeah.
Hell, even Scorpions literally just boop, there, boop, bye. And
he's the mascot of the series.
And the whole Daegon thing was just, well, I guess they were kind of building up to it, but it feels so, like, literally, their fight just gets put on hold because, oh wait, no, this is the wrong scene. We have to move you to this other location. Never mind the fact that Shao Kahn and those other two guys
here you go.
something, but the story doesn't even deal
100%.
with it.
There you go. Story and cutscene director John Vogel. There you go.
I do wonder if Vogel's hands may have been a bit tied, especially now knowing that he does have participation in other.
Honestly, Jova,
stories.
considering the stories that followed up also this game, I'm just convinced that that's just his style in general. It only varies slightly depending on the circumstances.
Well, that's the thing, too. Like you said, he apparently improved going off of later stories.
I mean, in terms of making things more, in-depth, sure. But in terms of actual tone, making things ultimately pointless, and making the quest for our heroes futile, we haven't changed that much.
I will say, however, that
in later ones it didn't feel too futile. Granted, this is going more so off of Injustice. I do get what you mean with the newer trilogy of games.
I will definitely say that in between this game and versus DC, he improved a lot in his dialogue, in particular, because I never would have guessed that John Vogel wrote Mortal Kombat versus DC, to be honest with you, because the writing is so much better than this.
I can mention, I wonder if he had some consultant with actual comic book writers.
Probably.
Well, okay, this is one thing I really do wonder, though. If he did have some stipulations to bow to with this in Deception, because to be fair, while he is the writer, there's nothing to say that he was the one who decided absolutely how the story had to go, in the sense that, for all we know, the bigger heads had, basically an outline for him that he needed to fill the gaps in. It's like, okay, we need this to happen, but you can make a story deciding how that happens. Mind you, that does not excuse some of the poor execution on his end. But honestly, again, with how weird 6 and 7's direction was going, just in general and stuff.
But it says the story for Mortal Kombat versus DC was written by the comic writers.
Oh, it wasn't.
Wasn't John Vogel also included in on that too?
I mean, on the Wikipedia article, it says writer John Vogel, but on the actual description, it says written by Jimmy Palmiotti and Justin
Gray and Jimmy Palmiotti, which are.
Wait. So what you're saying is that both bits do okay, one bit mentions him, but the other doesn't.
Oh, but
maybe it was probably edited partially.
Maybe both of them wrote. Yeah, maybe they both wrote it. They're co-writers, maybe.
For the record,
or maybe John came up with the story and the other guy wrote the script.
Actually, it's two, Justin Gray and Jimmy Palmiotti, because we usually work in tandem.
Well, Let's go with this, Dwebs. MK versus DC being the first story campaign that's the same, the one that will become known in the reboot trilogy. I'm guessing that's where John started his new modus operandi, where he comes up with a story, but he gets a writing team to write the actual script, basically. Carry on.
I mean, it's technically a fine story, but man, I'll admit, I feel like more than anything, the story is just a representation of how kind of off the rails Mortal Kombat had gotten to. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to do that dumbass thing where they mentioned during the marketing of MK versus DC that, supposedly Mortal Kombat has fallen out of favor and, no one from this newer generation is interested in it. What the hell they were thinking.
I guess we use such phrases as, this is not your dad's Mortal Kombat.
Kind of.
Was it G2 Transformers?
Yeah, I was referencing that.
All right, so
this is not your fault.
All right, so since
it's the second generation.
All right, since we still have some time, why not try out Motor Kombat!
Yay! No Rainbow Road for shame, Midway.
So yeah, Motor Kombat is exactly what the name implies. It's Mario Kart with Mortal Kombat characters.
This is amazing.
They should make a new one.
Honestly, combined also with the chess that we've seen beforehand in Deception as well. Like, honestly, they should just release as a standalone title, like Mortal Kombat minigame collection.
It works pretty much. It's pretty much on the same level as. There you go. I forgot which button was the accelerating button, but anyway.
Your acceleration seems to be up top, given how much you caught up.
It's because I'm on easy mode. It's pretty much about on the same level as the kart racing mode from Sonic Adventure 2. It's pretty much on the same level in terms of, you know, like, obviously it's not as in-depth as an actual proper kart racing full game. Where
Does this control better?
I will argue yes.
Okay.
Depends.
Also, if I recall correctly, the star gives a special move tied to each character.
Yeah, Scorpion uses the spear, obviously.
So what are the tracks called? Have we got Fatality Drive?
This is Linkway Raceway. We have
Animality Farm.
no, they're just arenas, like racetrack versions of various arenas from the Mortal Kombat games, like the Screaming Forest,
What do you?
Khan's Arena, I think.
What?
I was trying to get the star.
But now you've gone down to last.
Whatever. I have time to this. See,
There we go.
I can just tell them to get over here.
Yeah. Now they've gone right. Yeah, now they've gone over there.
Again, this is pretty neat.
Get out of my way, Baraka.
So would you say that all the racers, gameplay-wise, are balanced well enough?
I actually
Again,
forgot if they have stats or not.
they have, but I think they.
Jax got crossed.
Yeah. Again, Joe, it is. It's just like it's balanced enough. Again, like I said, it's not as tightly designed as an All Stars Racing Transformed or a Mario Kart 8, but as an extra mode on a fighting game, it's perfectly serviceable. Like if you just feel like racing with your friend, but you don't happen to have a Mario Kart game handy with you, this gets the job done.
Maybe
not
they'll bring
surprised
this.
people
Mom, I want Mario Kart. We have Mario Kart at home. The Mario Kart at home.
No, wait. MK. Whenever people are talking about MK8s, I think this is what they were talking about on Twitter. Not Mario Kart 8, but this.
That's the thing. There actually is no Mortal Kombat 8, so...
Oh, fuck.
There is
Oh,
Jova.
not at least in number.
Not in number, but versus DC is apparently the 8th Mortal Kombat.
That's the thing, though. For some reason, it's not referred to as such, and even if it weren't, one would wonder, why didn't they just make the... Well, okay, yes, we know that they had a Mortal Kombat 8 in development, but it got canned.
Because no, that's the thing, Java, in general. Ed Boon and his team, when it comes to labeling, the Mortal Kombat games, they just do whatever the fuck they want, because for the 9th game, it's just called Mortal Kombat, For the 10th title, they call it MKX with the Roman number, but they insist to just call it MKX instead of, MK10. And for 11, they simply just left the normal 11 number because probably they do not have any idea for an actual title.
I wonder if they'll bring this mode back if we get to Mortal Kombat 15 or something.
I'm surprised James Rolfe has never made a chronologically confused about Mortal Kombat games a video.
Because he realized that he'll get made fun of.
It's also weird a bit that, again, like I mentioned, in general, after 4, the MK games stopped having numerical titles in general. So, reprising that tradition with technically MKX was already weird to begin with.
Maybe it was to boast that the series has been alive for 11 games now.
I suppose.
And they probably couldn't think of a subtitle.
Yeah,
like you suggested.
It got to a point where they ran out of ideas. Okay, fine, let's just start numbering them again.
Fine, no. They just should have called it Mortal Kombat Generations.
Alright, so yeah, that's basically Motor Combat. Alright, you got the basic gist of it,
So we get to see the other tracks.
This clip has already been gone for a while. I figured, like, I should show you the basic gist of it. You just get to see various arenas from the other games. It's not...
That would have been nice to see, but oh well.
Well, I just wanted to show off a little bit of the mode because I wanted to focus on the story, on the proper arcade mode that we're doing. But first, before we get to the arcade mode, everybody, we have an entire hour of bio videos that were not put in the game, but fortunately, they were instead released individually on the internet back in the day. Fortunately, mksecrets.net has all of them, so I compiled them over in a single RAW. So let's check it out in the next part. See ya.
Yeah.